3 episodes in. The fourth one is upon us at the time of this
Tomorrow.
recording of our live stream and all that good stuff. Yet the warnings and the signs were there weeks and weeks ago from prolific Twitterer Alan Ng.
Yeah.
So let's go right now.
Oh, look at that.
Kicking off the weekend, watching The Acolyte. I have a funny feeling about this. That's May 31st.
How prophetic words.
I just, we're going back,
Yeah.
This is an action. This kind of storytelling is actually better than The Acolyte. I'm
Yeah.
on the 3rd episode. As they say, the Force is female.
Yeah.
I have a feeling. I feel like I have to see something good. The series has better production values than Mando, Kenobi, Andor, and Ahsoka, and no stupid celebrity cameos so far. Still has serious flaws though, just not as many. And guys, we're moving on now as these tweets pick up more steam. As you can see, Alan's is going through a catharsis of sorts, a losing of his innocence of his childhood.
Yeah, because it's about here where I think I finally saw the complete episode.
On episode 4, and finally, we have pronouns.
Yeah,
you're dead serious?
Yep. In fact, if you want it spoiled, don't go to something I just tweeted.
Oh my lord! Moving on up, episode 4 done. Now I'm going to curl up in a ball and cry.
Yeah. It was just that realization that Star Wars is dead to me. It's not. We've hit the point of no return.
Right. Well.
Oh yeah, read that final verdict.
Yes. The final verdict. The 3rd episode of The Acolyte will finally kill Star Wars for the vast majority of pre-Disney Star Wars fans. Based on Lucasfilm comments of late, they're okay with that.
Yeah.
136,000 views.
Yeah. I mean, it's still the news items at this point. I mean, we're talking 2 weeks before the premiere. No, I'm sorry. We're talking the weekend before the premiere of the first 2 episodes. And already they were blaming fans for hating the show, having not seen it, for racism and misogyny and homophobia.
Yeah, I love the racism part. Yeah,
yeah, and just the attack on fans. It was there's just that sense of from Lucasfilm that we don't need you anymore. Thank you for building this franchise for 40 years. We just don't need you anymore.
And on that note, you said 6 months ago when Chris said turning Marvel and Star Wars into girl brands will prove to be one of the costliest decisions in entertainment history. And you said it's been 6 months since this tweet went out. How is this controversial today? Star Wars is a girl brand and Lucasfilm is proud of it. Then there's revenue. The number speaks for themselves. Box office nil, subscribers down, merchandise underwhelming. And yet Verbal Riot said on your show today, they don't care about losing money because the question is, when is it going to end? When are they going to turn it around?
Yeah.
And that's what you guys were debating about. So I don't know if you had any thoughts on that.
Well, I mean, we talked a lot about Disney. Disney is too big to fail at this point. I mentioned this ad nauseum, but I went to the Walt Disney Museum 2 years ago. The museum is essentially the life of Walt Disney from his beginnings in Missouri to his death in the late 60s. And in the sense you got was that all throughout Walt Disney's career and with the company, he was always on the verge of bankruptcy. Yeah. That one failure would have sunk the company. And he ran out of money and couldn't complete Snow White and had to show Chase Bank the work in progress of Snow White to convince them that to loan them the money to finish Snow White.
Wow.
Yeah. So there was, when you're on the verge of failing or of bankruptcy, there's this need in all the work you do to put out a film of quality that will make a lot of money to make back everything you borrowed to make this thing.
Mm-hmm.
And so he was keenly aware of his audience, what they wanted and what they needed for this movie to succeed, for them to keep coming back and watching these movies. And so he had a financial investment to produce successful movies. You don't get that sense from the Walt Disney Company. You know, they're not motivated by failure. They're not motivated by financial doom.
Mm-hmm.
And so they can continue on ignoring fans. You know, the idea that they don't need Star Wars fans anymore is baffling to me.
So going into the fourth, obviously, you think there'll be a stronger reaction because of the pronouns, someone dying. Um, what what's next, man?
I mean, I can't imagine for the majority of viewers that after seeing episode 3 that they want to continue on with episode 4. You know, the I hate to spoil it for you, but the cliffhanger at the end of episode 4 is the identity of Smilo Ren, who is this mysterious figure, and then that'll get you to 5.
So
But
they're gonna go with the identity
no, they're
of
going to tease
Smilo
it.
Ren.
They're going to go. They're going to give you the cliffhanger at the end of 4, and then get you into 5. So that's pretty much the reason to see 4 is to bring you to the reveal of who might Smilo Ren be. But the thing is that do you care? I remember once I saw episode 3.
The thing is, do you care? Right?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Once I saw episode 3 and then had episode 4 to watch, I was like, I really don't care about the what happens next. And what happens next is, it's not difficult to figure out. There's a lot of messaging in it, and and then someone dies in it, by the way, and then you have it, and because this show is just so predictable. Who's gonna die, and it's just bad. And I remember just thinking, okay, I'm done. Why do I need to continue to follow Star Wars? Because I don't recognize it. Let's just say that the ratings of Star Wars, Disney Plus Star Wars TV shows has been on a downward trajectory since Mando season 1 first. It's just a steady decline. And what we found is that the viewership of the Acolyte is less than half of Ahsoka.